Let me start this video off today by saying 4 words. The left is dangerous. Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel. 5:19 a.m. Friday, September the 26th. Hope you're having a great day today. I do have my big blue mug of coffee with me today. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I do appreciate it. If you haven't clicked on subscribe yet, please click on subscribe. Thank you very much. So I started off with something before the welcome screen today, which I don't often do. And I actually created a folder on my MacBook desktop saying the left is dangerous. And I mean this in a couple of different ways. And I'm not saying this lightly, folks. They are dangerous in a couple of different ways. And I initially put together a folder of dozens of tweets and videos that I could show you today, but I'm not going to do that because honestly, I want to keep it short and I don't want to drive up my blood pressure. But I'm terribly concerned in a couple of different ways. And in another way, I am relieved. I'm going to get to that right at the end of this video. So what makes me say the left is dangerous? Folks, your economy is on the edge of ruin right now. And the thing is, there are lots of people who still support the economic ruin that is coming. They're told it's coming. They can see it's coming. But they hate the other side so much, they don't care anymore. And that's when we get to the second part of dangerous. Let's look at the first part right now. You may have seen this video.
The public debt charges is $53.6 billion, and that projection is going to increase in 2030 to $82.4 billion. Is that sustainable?
Every dollar spent on debt is a dollar that is not spent elsewhere.
Again, how alarming is that for the average Canadian, for the taxpayer? Because there is only one taxpayer, right?
It should be very alarming, right? These are, I don't know, I think I used the words in French, and which the translators probably got really well, like stupefying, shocking, right? This is not, like, it's not a funny fiscal outlook. It's a really serious fiscal outlook. And we don't lightly use the word unsustainable, right? Unsustainable means you don't have the option of saying, maybe I'll wait a couple of years, I'll see how things go. It means if you don't change, this is done, right? So it's very serious.
You should be worried. During the election campaign, I brought it up here. Other people brought it up as well. We spend more money in Canada to service our debt, pay interest on our debt than we spend on our healthcare system. And you should be worried about what's going on right now. On November the 4th, you'll get the budget. It'll be a year and a half since we've had a budget in this country. And the deficit is going to be so high, it will blow your mind. It's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. I remember a few years ago when Trudeau said he was going to run moderate deficits of $10 billion. It's going to be more than 10 times that. You should be very worried about this. But the problem is people aren't worried and they continue to support this. I see people complaining. The carbon tax is gone now. Why aren't my grocery prices going down? Wake up, folks. It's because we're driving up our prices because we're spending way too much money. And this is the Carney government. Spend less, invest more. It's all spending. It's lots of spending. It's easy to be a liberal. They spend, they spend, they spend. They give you freebies and you're happy about it. The politician that robs Peter to pay Paul will always have a friend in Paul. Things are really in big trouble here. Now let's go to my second video, which proves exactly what I'm talking about here. Here's the Liberal Party of Canada. This is the kind of propaganda they put out here. Every time we have a policy to support Canadians like $10 a day childcare or dental care, they vote against it.
You know, Food Banks Canada does essential work on the front lines, but they also make recommendations for politicians like us for better policies to support Canadians. So I'd put it back on that member. When we had a vote in this House of Commons just not that long ago on a national school food program, he voted against it. Every time we have a policy to support Canadians like $10 a day childcare or dental care, they vote against it. When we bring forward measures to ensure that there's more affordable housing for Canadians, they vote against it. So if you're going to quote the Food Banks Canada report, please read the report and consider some of their recommendations.
Let me ask you this, folks. Since when is it the responsibility of the federal government to feed your children? And that means it's your responsibility to feed somebody else's kids. Why is this happening? Well, it's easy for them to go after the conservatives for stuff like this because people think this is just fine. This is cradle to grave government, folks. That's where we are in this country. And people are fine with this. That's how we have $100 billion deficits in this country. And the thing is, the reason why people can't afford to feed their kids is because of the government that's driving up prices. You see how this works? I'm going to just give you some advice. If you can't afford to feed your kids, clothe your kids, or put a roof over their house, you shouldn't be having children. A lot of people thought they could, but they can't anymore because of the liberal government. That's how dangerous these people are. It's not my responsibility as a taxpayer to federally have to pay for somebody to feed their kids. It's ridiculous. This is what charity used to do. And now it's government that does this kind of stuff. And charity used to do it a lot better, like churches and things like that. That's the one reason why they're dangerous. And then we get to crap like this. Rachel Gilmore, perpetual victim. She says that Pierre Poilievre is bringing American politics to Canada. She is bringing American rhetoric to Canada, which is freaking dangerous, folks. And I'm going to up this in just a moment. Have you ever wondered how the far right managed to normalize their ideologies into the mainstream? As we're now seeing in the United States? Well, let me explain it to you because they're trying to do it here in Canada too, using the term remigration. This is important. And she goes into one of her ridiculous, stupid diatribes about people who want to see people who are in the country illegally go home because they don't belong here, which is a pretty mainstream thing to think. People think it in the United States, and most people in Canada think if you're here illegally, you should go home. But this is where it starts, folks. American-style politics because of Orange Man bad, and then we move it up to this level right here. This piece of crap right here who calls himself a he, him who lives in his mom's basement. Listen to this. This proud boy, this is Jamil Jivani, former talk show host, conservative MP from Bowmanville, Oshawa North, a black man. This proud boy just gave a statement calling on young men to help restore the North. He'd be the head of Poilievre's youth if PP were PM. Do you get this reference? Do you get this reference? I do. If you don't get what this reference is, you don't read enough history. You know what he's calling him, don't you? This is freaking dangerous. J.D. Vance's bestie, Jamil Jivani, is a real creep. Do you know what just happened in the United States of America a few weeks ago? A guy named Charlie Kirk? They called him stuff like this as well. This is now in Canada. The left is dangerous, folks. Pierre Poilievre better watch his back. There's all kinds of stuff like this online. I had a whole bunch of tweets this morning I was going to show you. That's where I'm ending it. The left is freaking dangerous. They're dangerous in more ways than one. They're a danger to your way of life because of their economic policies. You've been warned about this, and now this is happening. It comes from we're bringing American politics to Canada from that woman, that creep herself, Rachel Gilmore. I'm not calling on anybody to go after these people, but they're dangerous. To this guy, Jason, who's now calling Jamil Jivani the head of Poilievre's youth. That's where we are in nice, polite Canada. You know, the Canada where a Canadian bumps into somebody and they say they're sorry. We're not there anymore, folks. We're going down the road of the United States, but it's not the conservatives that are taking us there. Poilievre just wants economic common sense in this country to restore Canada to what it once was. It's the Liberals who are driving things into the ditch. And as far as I'm concerned, folks, my final thought on this, keep doing it, Mark. Go harder and faster. Just destroy the Canadian economy because Canada's demise will result in Alberta's rise. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. Be good to each other out there, folks. And I'll see you in the next one.